Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Jim George, Professor of the Universe. He's in the studio, ready to answer your questions. And I know this time of year you have more questions than ever. Maybe about the TV you're thinking about buying. Maybe you don't know the difference between high def and super high def or whatever, all that stuff. Jim is here to answer those questions. The number is 622-9622. This is what happens this time of year is people buy things and technology is part of those things, and all of a sudden they realize they don't know everything they thought they knew. So this is a good time to pick Jim's brain if you want. The number again, 622-9622. Hiya, Jim.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
You got 2 layers on today. You must be cold.
Well, I had a long sleeve shirt on, and I just put my work shirt over so people could tell who I were.
who you were. So, this is the time of year. We went... well, I'm not going to tell you where we went, but there was technology involved.
Uh-huh.
And we had questions about that technology. I can't tell you any more than that. But, however, I know that, so sometimes the guys in the store don't always know. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. They're more trained than the average person. They really are. The salespeople who come in to sell the store on that model, on that brand and such, try to spend time with the salespeople to tell them the reason why this set might be better than that, the number of pixels, the number of contrast. In other words, some of these things have 2,400 different contrast settings. So you can, really bring the background forward type thing and, lighten it up or make it more docile, more softer picture, instead of a bright picture. Some people like the softness. They don't want everything so jumping out at you. So truism, you might say.
Okay.
Whereas you and I might like the sharp colors and the sharp edges.
Yes.
Some people like it dull.
So let me ask you about that, because I think that can be determined by a number, and the only number I know is 1080. But there are higher numbers than 1080, and there are lower numbers than 1080. What does that number mean?
Well, the 1080, that's more or less the...
what does that mean?
The quality of the picture. So a 720 is what we call a standard def. It's still digital. Uh-huh. It's still high quality. It's better than analog. But it just doesn't have the amount of pixels to make the picture look fantastic. 1080 is better. Okay, it's a third more pixels, but now they have 4K, so that's 4,000.
Oh, wow!
And then the Japanese just announced there is a consumer TV out now for 8,000 pixels. They call it 8K.
Wow!
Gosh!
Yeah.
What will we see with that?
And the average size of a 8K is like 85 inches is the average size. And
holy cow!
They're not doing 31 inches and 42.
85 inches.
Yeah. That'd be great for the living room.
Have you seen one in person?
The whole living room.
Have you seen one in person?
No. At trade shows. At the trade shows, yes.
All right, that banner that we have up there for WOCA, is that the size of it?
That's about it. That's about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's huge.
Oh, wow.
So would you mount that on the wall, or would you make sure it's on?
Well, they have both. They have
flat
mounting brackets for the wall. Mm-hmm. And they have cabinetry that you set it on. Mm-hmm. And then the cabinetry is on wheels, so you could tilt it left or right a little bit.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
That is, wow.
But the picture is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can walk right up to it. The old days when we had the analog TVs, one of the tests we made, whether you buy an RCA or a Zenith or whatever, was you just take your 2 hands and you can form a circle, so it's like maybe a 4 or 5 inch circle. Mm-hmm. And then you go up to the TV and you put cup your hands over and look in that circle.
Oh.
And then if you can see the lines, they call them lines of resolution, then you want one that you can't really see the lines. You want to see the picture and not the lines that are formed. Because there's a thing inside the TV called a flyback transformer, and what it did is it formed a line, flew back, formed another line, flew back, and how quick that flyback transformer was how many lines it produced in so many milliseconds and so on and so forth.
Oh my gosh.
And then there were 525 lines per picture. and European was like 625, per picture. They tried to outdo us, and that's when the digital came in and said, okay, we're not going to create pictures that way anymore. That's more or less semi-mechanical. What we like to do is do it digitally, and that's where the plasma screen came in. There's like this floating gel that could be electrified to form this picture. But it was encapsulated.
And that's old now, right?
Oh, yeah, plasma's old now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now we have liquid crystal, LCD.
And that's in all the TVs now when it
Just
says
about.
HD TV. It
Oh,
also
yeah.
says LCD.
All the new ones.
I want to get back to talk about TVs, but I want to tell you one side story. We had a story yesterday or 2 days ago that some of the places where it is snowing, they have a new problem. The traffic lights, the red, yellow, and green lights, are piling up with snow. And because the bulbs don't heat up anymore, it doesn't melt out. So because they have these low heat bulbs, the what do you call it, LEDs?
Yes.
And so the city workers literally have to go around with a truck and brush out the snow from the street, the traffic lights. Isn't that something?
They're not hot enough.
See, they didn't think ahead on that, did they?
Yeah.
But see, satellite dishes used to pile up with snow, and then you would lose your signal. Not you, Mr. Joe Public, but the big broadcasting networks that get a feed out of New York, And so they made a heater for it. And so it straps to the back of the dish, and it's just enough heat. I mean, it could be
melt
little
the snow.
They just melt the stove. So
Wow.
you keep it on basically 24/7 during the winter. So when snow hits the dish, it's just that much warmer. So it may only be 50 degrees, but when a 32-degree bulb, a snowflake hits it, it melts. So they're going to have to come up with some kind of a little blanket now, a little device that they can slide inside.
Yeah.
That can be turned on automatically from the control box, because all those control boxes, they're networked together, and be able to melt the snow.
Oh my gosh!
Problem came up they didn't foresee.
Yeah, so I think
No.
you're right. I think an invention is at hand.
That's like the waterless urinals, to change the subject.
Don't you hate those things?
Well, the Turnpike, there was a city in California that took all the old urinals out that were water type and put in waterless because they wanted to save water. They're in a terrible drought in California. They don't have water.
Yeah,
and then what happened is now all the pipes and everything are corroding, and because the water flushed everything, and now that it's
No.
waterless.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they're having to go back and reinstall the water ones.
Well, that's
Oh,
good because
really?
you'd think there would be an awful stench too with the waterless.
What happens, I think every time it gets a certain level inside the bladder, let's say, of this tank, it empties it and then flushes a little bit of water. But they found out that they had to go through and disinfect them because households,
I bet.
everybody along that line was saying, whoa, what is happening?
You know what's crazy for me with
Gosh.
the waterless urinals is the plumbing from the old urinal that used to be there is still sticking out of the wall.
Yes.
And so I will always push that button, and it doesn't do anything.
Oh.
Right.
So are there no buttons to push in a waterless
No,
urinal?
it's nothing.
I've never, not really.
When
seen
I was in the military and we would go into Times Square and Central and that area and Penn Central, all the bathrooms there were foot pedals. And as a young boy, you might say only 18 years old, from Podunk, Mississippi, let's say, I'd look at that thing and go, how do you flush this? And it was a foot pedal.
I don't
Oh
remember
my
that.
gosh!
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And in the military, they had foot pedals too, so you could wash your hands without having to touch the spigots.
Oh, they should bring that back. They
You
should
just
put that in the
you
ladies'
step on
room.
it and you wash your hands. And
Well,
you're
they have light ones now. The light turns on the.
Oh, that's right. Sometimes you
shadow.
can put your hand
Yeah,
under
but sometimes
there.
I've been at those
I hate those too.
faucets and waved my hand, went up and down, sideways, clicked my fingers.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
And then I walk over to the next guy's sink and say, I got to wash my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they should put all foot pedals in there. That would be
pedals.
great.
Yeah, they were interesting. They
All
were
right, so
neat.
getting back to TV, I have a question about the sound on the TV. Is this a generation thing? Like, would my generation have no problem with the sound, but like young people, they want the sound to be just as pristine as the picture? Is that because that's what it looks like to me?
Well, they had the Adobe, and they got as high as, let's say, 5.1. That's 5 different high-pitched sounds for every one bass sound, let's say.
Oh, okay.
But the bass was always in front of you. You always had that little box on the ground by the TV facing you, but the other 5 could be surrounding you, so surround sound.
Right.
Now they're up to 8.1, and I just saw the other day where they have 8.3. So they want to put 3 of these boxes in front of you for bass, and then 8 around you. So literally, you can sit in the middle of the room and you play the soundtrack of a train coming through. You probably heard it before, and you hear it on your left ear, let's say, and then you hear it right in front of you, and then you hear it in your right ear, and that disappears. Train coming past. Very, very interesting. But our biggest problem, my wife and I's biggest problem with sound is, now that I say it to you, you're going to notice it. The music is so loud, the background music is so loud, either on a horror movie or even a romance movie, that you can't hear the words the people are saying. The music's too loud.
With the sound bar?
With the sound bar. So we actually have to turn our sound bar off when we want to watch a Hallmark movie or some other, even a movie we rent. You know, we just have to turn the sound bar off because the music is way too loud.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And I've gone into the settings and put it on movie settings, put it on, there's like 10 settings for to make the box play it differently. And they're all the same in the movies. So we've actually written to the motion picture industry and said, you know, you've got to do something about the music being so loud that you can't hear the words. So we find ourselves turning closed caption on to watch a movie.
Really?
Which is terrible.
With the sound bar.
Yeah, with the sound bar.
Really?
Because so next time you watch, you know, something, a movie, let's say, even on your TV or your computer, just listen for this, and you'll probably see what I'm saying. The sound is so loud.
Do you know what we saw at Best Buy? We saw this. Well, it's a virtual thing you put over your eyes, like goggles or something, and it says you can watch a live concert as if you're sitting in the front row, and you can actually look back and forth and around. You can look at all the people in the theater and everything. They have a camera like in one of the seats, apparently, and you can actually look at the guy next to you, except you're going to be like 3 feet taller than him. Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
And then so the sound is good, the picture is good, and you of course pay to watch this thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, virtual reality, that's what 5G is trying to make, you know, work better for us also. That's just not my cup of tea. I don't think I want to sit in a nice, comfortable chair and put an uncomfortable headset on, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Here's what happened to me years ago. I bought one of those surround sound systems, and I was babysitting a big screen TV. It wasn't not like they have today, but it was what they had. It was state of the art for the day. Anyway, so I had the surround sound, right? And I put the speakers behind me, and I put the speakers. So then I set up a chair in the middle, and I put on a George Harrison concert, right?
Right.
So in front of me, I hear George Harrison playing and singing. And to the left, there's the guitar guy and the bass guy. And the right, there's the drummer. Everything is kind of nice. Behind me, you know what I hear? A guy coughing. There's nothing behind you in a concert.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's something.
Yeah, that'd do it.
So when you get these big screen TVs, is it better during the daytime to keep your drapes closed to watch them, or can you?
No, they're
them
super
open?
bright now. Super bright.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. No, you can take it outside, literally. You know, they actually have TV sets that are waterproof in the sense that when you go to the CES show in Vegas, or when I go to the cable TV show, like I just did one in Atlanta, they have it sitting in a big plastic container that you can see through, and they're running water over it. There's like 2 shower heads over it. And they're running water over it all the time the show is going. They're running over it, and it's playing beautifully. And what it's for is, you remember the days when you would pull out of a driveway and there'd be these big mirrors, and the mirrors were to tell you who was coming down the road because you couldn't see?
Right.
Well, now they have cameras down the road, and they have a monitor. And you look at the monitor, and you see who's coming down the road and how far down they are.
In your car?
Yeah, like when you pull in front of a gate. Or if you want to pull in front of a gated community, instead of having that little box that's 10 inch by 10 inch, and you have to lean way over, it's got a touch screen.
Oh, my gosh.
You just touch it, and there it is. And if it rains, they don't care. Snow, it makes no difference.
Oh, my gosh.
Now it's 31 inch or 42 inch, large screen.
Gosh.
Wow.
And the beautiful part about that is the homeowner tenant can look at you through the TV. There are cameras, as
Right,
you know, and vice versa. You see them, they see you.
Right. What was I watching? I was watching the guy. Somebody put firecrackers on his porch. That's what it was. And the guy had a doorbell that had a camera in it.
Yep.
And so they got pictures of the kids putting firecrackers on his porch.
Yeah.
And the police were able to go arrest him.
Wow.
Yeah.
A camera in your doorbell.
Right.
Now, that's something I wouldn't have thought about getting.
Right,
Yeah.
and of course they're very popular. I want to say it's called Ring 8. I forget the name of the company. I think you even announced it once or twice here, and it goes to your cell phone. So as soon as the UPS guy, as soon as the motion picks it up, you don't have to push the button. It turns on. And it contacts you through your cell phone or through your TV or whatever, and you see who's at your front door.
Is it ever a cockroach?
And you can talk to the person. It's got a speaker in it. They can talk to you. You talk to them. You might be here, and the UPS guy's at your house delivering. He rings the doorbell and knocks on the doorbell, and you answer him from here. Just leave it, fine, or leave it next door. Lady will get it.
Oh, my gosh.
By the way, did you and your wife know that Burger King was now selling dog bones?
I don't think we knew that.
Right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
they
that
are.
in yesterday's news?
Yep. They're selling.
I know they got
roasted
great
dog
pancakes. three
Do they?
for 89 cents.
I can tell you what they don't have great. They don't have great. Well, for some people they might like it, but I like iced coffee that's just coffee with ice. I
Yes.
don't.
Right.
You cannot get it at Burger King unless you buy coffee and a cup of ice.
Oh, I see.
Then you can. But if you get their iced coffee, it's all vanilla or it's got mocha or it's got sugar.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a creamer guy myself. My wife buys Oreo stuff that she puts in, Hershey stuff.
Oreo.
Oh.
All those international flavors. Yeah, she loves them.
Oh, okay.
Oreo?
Just a regular coffee.
Yeah, they have one that tastes like Oreos now.
Cookies
Cookies
in your coffee.
and your coffee.
That's nice.
Yeah.
International flavors. That's pretty cool.
International flavors.
So
Make a good Christmas gift.
talking
Yeah.
about that. Did I ever tell you my gripe, my pet peeve with the modern stove, the electronic controls of the modern stove?
Mm-hmm.
I just think the old way is so much better. Just turn a knob. It's 350 degrees. There, or an oven, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy, right? Now you have to know how to program a thing, and if the electricity goes off, the clock is blinking. Another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that?
I do. I'm a gas person myself. I like a gas stove, but my wife will not allow me to have one in the house.
Oh.
She's definitely afraid of gas being in the house, and so I want to get a fireplace for us. We have a fireplace, but I'm tired of bringing wood in. So I said, let's just go ahead and get a gas one, and she goes, oh, I don't know. There's gas in the house, and what if this? What if that?
Well, she's got a good point.
I know, but
Yeah, but you get those little things, those little monitor things to go with it, just in case the pilot light goes out.
you can hang it anywhere in the house, close to the fireplace. If it smells gas, it goes off.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty amazing.
There's a lot of new technology out there.
But I'm with you. I love cooking on a gas stove.
The heat's there, right?
Love it.
You want to prove the heat's there instantly. Put your hand on the one that that's electric and turn it on, and you can count to 10. Put your hand on the one that's gas and turn it on. See what happens.
Yeah.
It's there.
All right, let's take a phone call. If you want to call in, the number is 622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Good morning, Jim, Larry, Robin. I worked for a utility for over 30 years, and I'll tell you, living in Florida, I don't want no part of gas. I've seen too many things happen, etc., explosions and whatnot. And one of the biggest things was the utility had a malfunction, and it took them hours to shut the gas off. You saw flame shooting in the air about 200 feet.
Oh, my gosh.
So if it takes them that long to shut off gas and have it dissipate, I don't think I'd want it. Another time I went out to a location, they needed a pump and hoses and stuff. I get out there and there's open space. I said, well, what the heck, you guys can't do anything here? So you look around and your eyes become accustomed to what you're looking at in the middle of the night. There's a giant hole in the ground and half a house gone on either side of the hole. That was a gas explosion. So fortunately,
Wow.
the people in the house that was a hole now, they were either away or someplace. but the houses on either side sustained major damage.
Yes.
So I'm no fan of gas. That's all I can tell you. Have a great weekend,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I think you read a story last week, Larry, where a squirrel was at a substation.
Yeah.
It took, what, half a town out or something?
Yeah.
6,000 residents or
Yeah.
something? Those pesky squirrels.
So, see, I hear what your point is. Your point is that something can go wrong with anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, for 15 years after TJ and Shannon were born, I lived in a house that had gas heat. We had the gas tank outside, and then I had a gas stove, and we didn't have any problems, but I kept checking that
Yeah.
pilot light.
That's right. Make sure that thing's lit. You know, people have gas water heaters. They have, gas refrigerators. You can get gas refrigerators.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, they use them for camping. I know they use them in campers a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they work, but they do.
So when you have refrigerators now, I like the kind where the freezer is on the bottom and the refrigerator is on top. Is there any advantage to one way or the other if the freezer's on the bottom or the freezer's on top?
No, I happen to like the freezer on top because I don't like to, open up that drawer and go digging down there like, what am I looking for? A hamburger to take out or a hot dog or whatever. Where, I'll stand up straight like a man and pull my meat out.
Ay, Jim.
Oh, I walked right into that one.
That was a good one.
I think we just
you.
lost Robin again.
No, you didn't lose one.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
Good thing Joe doesn't listen to this.
No, he
Yeah.
never listens. He doesn't. Hey, you have an audience that probably would be interested in ham radio. So can I take a moment
Certainly.
and promote
Please
this
do.
event?
Please do.
So this event is happening tomorrow, right, Robin? Tomorrow
Yes, it
and
is.
Sunday, right? Both days?
No, just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow, okay. At the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion, if you are interested in ham radio, shortwave radio, these guys, they're kind of like you, Jim. They know technology.
Yes.
They know this stuff. They are having this event at $7 if you go and pay. However, if you call us up after Jim is done in about 2 minutes, we got 4 of them here. We can give them to you, however many you want. Unless you want 5, then we don't have it.
Right.
Or if you want 2, then we can give them to 2 people. But I just want to make sure people use these. So tomorrow, if you're looking for a gift for somebody who likes shortwave radio, tomorrow's a great day to go.
And those guys are super smart. They know how far a 2-meter antenna can broadcast, how far a 20-meter antenna can broadcast.
Exactly.
Wow.
They can talk. They carry their handsets as if they're cell phones. They can talk to people around the world.
I know.
It's wonderful what they do.
I know.
It really is.
Have you ever taken that test for
I have. I used to be a ham.
Did you?
I gave it up.
I don't know. I think you got a good career.
I didn't want to ham it up anymore.
I think you're pretty good. So what's on your schedule? Also, Jim purchased some of the tickets for the Kiwanis Pancake event happening next Saturday. And we will give these away too. You just want some? They're worth $5 a piece. You don't have to worry about not helping out with a fundraiser because Jim already put the money down. So call us right now if you want some tickets because we're about ready to wrap it up. If you want the other tickets to the Ham Fest, give us a call. Either way, and you can have both. You can get some pancakes and ham.
Yes, exactly. And as you know, that the date of the pancakes is the day of the parade.
Right.
Yes.
Are you in it? Are you in the parade?
No, I'm not. But you could go and eat a large breakfast, pancakes, sausage. As you mentioned earlier, it's unlimited. You can have all the sausage, all the pancake, all the OJ, all the coffee you want. And so let's say it ends at 1. Is that when it ends?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
so it ends at 1. You walk down to the street, from 8th Street to the main street, and you get your chair out and you sit down and take a little nap, and ta-da!
There you go.
Watch the most beautiful parade ever is the Ocala Christmas
There you
parade.
go.
Yeah.
I agree. All right.
Thank you, Jim. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
News. I'm Lillian Wu. A deal to replace NAFTA signed.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Nice to hold that up.